Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Fuck off.
We're podcasting again.
Fuck right off.
Yes. Shut up.
Oh.
Stop talking amongst yourselves.
Shut
We're
up.
podcasting
Stop
now.
it.
Stop. Shh.
Turn this off. Fuck off. Oh,
What?
shut up.
That's such a big bogey.
I
That's
know.
crazy. Go
Lad.
get kitchen roll. Don't pick it. Don't pick it.
No,
don't pick
I
it.
have to. I'm
No,
sorry.
get kitchen roll. Get kitchen roll.
Right, wait now.
Can I get you kitchen?
I've got listen. Listen, that's 2 podcasts in a row. It started with me doing that.
The kitchen roll has come out 2 podcasts in a row.
roll?
Hang it up on the kitchen roll holder, you dumb cunt.
I don't know about a kitchen roll.
It's at your eye level.
I look like a man who knows about kitchen roll.
You know you don't look like a man who knows about kitchen
I'm the
roll.
man who built the pyramids. I'm the man who.
You're the man who built the pyramids. You a Jewish guy?
I'm the man
Are
who.
you a
built-
Jew? Are you a Jewish slave?
Do you know what? In some ways, I am.
And
I'm not going to go
the
in.
Pharaoh.
I'm not going to go into it. But do you know what happened there? I just did a little kind of like slight one of them to nose, and then I don't know, I knocked loose that absolute massive.
That was a big snotter.
Oh, brother.
Did you use the word snotter?
I wouldn't use the word snotter, but I'm not against the word snotter.
Snotter. Is that
Yeah.
a very Northern Irish thing, maybe?
Well, there was a character, a great character in Irish television known as Snotzer, who was a
yes.
deviant kind of a pig who used this is not a joke, who used to come on the Den, the very famous.
Are you thinking of Eamon Dunphy?
I'm not thinking of Eamon Dunphy, but you know what? Snotzer and Eamon Dunphy wouldn't have been completely
Peas in a
unlike.
pod.
No, there was
Yeah,
they
cut from the same cloth.
there would have been birds of a feather, yeah. So Snotzer was this like demented little Northside Dublin pig who used to come on the Den. He'd be like, right, because there was Ray D'Arcy, Dustin the turkey, and Socky. Socky was the sock monster, and they were the kind of the big three, like kind of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. They were like the
Who's the Rajon Rondo?
Snotzer. Snotzer was the young up and coming point guard. But then so fucking rotten out Snotzer would come in and he'd just be like, hey, how are you? How's everyone going? And looking back, you know, I don't know if it was great television, but certainly
Doesn't it sounds mildly classist?
it was. Yeah,
To have the real Northside Dublin be
Be a pig.
an actual pig?
He was a little pig.
Because
Yeah,
where was Dustin the Turkey's accent from?
he was Northside Dublin as well.
Are they all of these kind of scaby little puppets were Northside Dublin?
Socky was more from the astral realm, from the
Right.
lunar realm. Like Socky was not of this earth, really.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And I think then Ray D'Arcy himself, the host of this children's television show, there was something a little kind of
Pedophilic.
well, I don't want to say
I was
that.
just spitballing.
He's still doing a radio show on Radio 1
That Mike would like to be on.
I have been on and was basically banned from national radio because I brought up the IRA. And
If you can't bring up the IRA on the RT, like
yeah, well, first off, what I did was
what?
yeah. So what happened was I was in Barcelona at the time, and I was over there, and I'd already been on the Ray D'Arcy radio show and did really well. I did these stories about being at home over lockdown and my father being a big fucking idiot, and
That's very RTable.
that's right,
That's good stuff.
and they loved that. So anyway, they were like, right, well, get him on again. And at this point, I was living in Barcelona, so I had to call in on the phone. I remember my fucking mother texted me before I goes on, and she said, I heard her at the radio because someone messaged her because they said that we're going to have Michael Rice comedian on, and she just so you know, we're all listening. I was like, why the hell would you say that? Why the hell? Boo to that. You want to make me self-conscious?
Pressure from across the seas.
Across the seas. I'm over in Barcelona living with this mad little Argentinian DMT user, Maxi, who's crawling up the walls like a spider. So I have to tell Maxi, I have to like get him down with a broom and say, Maxi, get out of the room there now. I have to talk to Ray D'Arcy. And then I goes on anyway, and I'm on doing the fucking thing. And I start doing this bit about how I have no respect for teachers, but I'm also teaching English myself at that time. So I put TEFL, exactly. A great
Teaching English is a
Go on. What are you going to say? Oh, what the hell? Come on now. Hey now, you know that's not right.
I should have said fat. I should have said fat.
A fat loser, yeah. It
I
wouldn't
just
have,
you asked me honestly what came into my head, and I'm really sorry about that.
no, but you know what? I think that they can see the decency inside you that was reluctant to let that out. But also, it was the funniest thing to think and say. It is funny. And I'll stand by that. It's funny. And fat loser wouldn't have been as
Not
funny.
as funny.
It wouldn't have made sense.
It's
I
not
was
as
ripped
insane.
to fucking shreds. So anyway, I goes on and I'm slagging off teacher, and immediately he goes, well, actually, I really liked my teachers, and I thought my teachers were really worked hard, and that, so I can't go along with their. And I was like, right. Oh, wait.
Terrible radio presenting.
Right. And I was
no
like,
harm if Ray Darcy's an avid listener of Mike and Vittorio's Guide to
Yeah.
Parenting, but you could learn a lesson or two about yes anding.
I
You
was
stupid
like,
cunt.
do you know the way that you brought me on as a comedian? Do you think there might be any chance there, Chief, that I might be joking? That I might be setting up a punchline? Didn't even let me get to the punchline.
Hate that. You've been
Cuts me
the
off.
legs cut out from under
Right.
you.
So then,
Chopped off at the knees, which is why you brought up the IRA, I presume.
exactly right. And then I start telling this story about being on a bus in Dublin and this fella.
I know the one.
The story, the exact one. And your man tells me he's a member of the IRA in the story. And as soon as I say that part of the story, Ray just goes, okay, well, no, I don't know if we should be, okay, that's it for today. Just cut off, didn't even let me get to the punchline. I was like, I was
It looks so much worse.
livid. I was furious. I was absolutely
Whole family
apoplectic.
listening.
Whole family listening.
Ooh.
He's cut the absolute balls off of two of my jokes. I was, and I'm in Barcelona. Maxi's popping his head back in. He's like, "You finished?" I said, "Get the fuck out of here, Maxi! I'll fuck you up, you little drug user." You know, I was a drug user as well. It wasn't fair to say that, but
It was fair. You didn't do as I say, not as I do. Type
that's
thing.
right. But then my mother, so then she tells me she's listening, and then anyway the radio interview ends, and she doesn't even like message or call or say anything. So I end up having to fucking call her an hour later. I was like, "Oh yeah, you heard the thing?" She's like, "I think you came across, I think you were rushing it or something." And I was so angry with my mother. She's like, "You shouldn't have." She just blamed me for the whole thing. She was like, "Yo, I think you did
Well,
this."
Ray Darcy can do no wrong in the minds of.
Well, he's a saint. He's like Padre Pio or something, or Sir Ben Kingsley or one of these characters. Probably wouldn't put Padre Pio and Ben Kingsley in the same bracket, but then I just think of Ben Kingsley playing Gandhi, and that's why he's a
They're both in The Sopranos, I think.
Padre Pio and Ben Kingsley. they both worked at Bada Bing. Yeah,
But Ben Kingsley was in Sopranos.
I don't think he was, lad.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the episode
Yeah.
with Christopher.
Yeah,
When
the
Chrissy's-
TV produced, the movie
That's
producer
right.
thing. Yeah.
That's good shout. Good shout.
Yeah. Padre Pio apparently, so he's the one who had the marks of the stigmata appear on his hands and feet and side.
Yeah.
Apparently he was just putting acid on his hands and feet and side.
Well, yeah, obviously he was doing something to get the marks there. I mean,
I thought it was
wasn't
God.
like God's
I
real.
genuinely thought that that was part of my lingering faith
Really?
in God was but that Padre Pio thing's
Got
mad,
to
isn't it?
let it linger. You know I'm such a fool for you.
What's that now?
The Cranberries. You don't know, lad, one of the most famous songs ever. I probably butchered it, but you know that song. Do you have to let it linger?
It's somewhere in my brain.
Right.
I don't really know many of the Cranberry songs. I know that zombie one.
Okay.
That people hate. Some people hate the zombie one.
But sure, if you do anything that's great enough, you'll have. It's like that Louis C.K. bit. He's like, when he got really successful, he's like, yeah, so many people hate me now, and that's just the price of something being a huge hit. Zombie's a great song.
People hate it for different, kind of opposite reasons. People hate it because they think it glorifies the IRA, but people also hate it because they think it's very anti-IRA. And I don't really know how they've managed that.
Well, it doesn't glorify it anyway, because it's just, and their bombs and their guns. She's pretty much kind of painting a picture of their kind of, with their bombs and their guns, they're kind of monsters, and then it's definitely not glorifying it.
Well, I've seen people say that that's why they don't like it. I don't know.
But people are thick. Now, what I will say
That might
is,
have been England rugby fans. In Ireland rugby were the fans would sing Zombie after the matches and stuff.
Yeah.
I think some England fans were like, that song's about the IRA. And,
Yeah.
But then didn't have a second thought
Yeah.
in their brain. They were just like, it must be pro.
I've seen a lot of these big English rugby lads, and you can see kind of from a distance, you've only ever had one thought.
Yeah, and how are they hearing the
And one
lyrics
thought, and
with
it's
those
pheasant. More pheasant.
pheasants and peasants?
More pheasant, Rupert. No.
Yeah. Anyway, this is an advice special.
But very quickly,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
also
sorry.
have Dreams is their other big hit, and Linger. No.
Dreams, not that one.
No.
Is that it?
No, it's like the all my na 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 every possible way. Yeah.
The Dairy Girls song.
Never did like this before.
Yeah.
And now
That's big
I'm
Dairy Girls
feeling
vibes.
more and more.
I think this is maybe a generational divide because you're such an old man.
I am quite.
34?
I'm 34 years young, brother.
God, if Papa Francesco had held on slightly longer, you'd be viable to be Pope.
That's
you just
right.
have to be baptized in over 35. Maybe if the conclave lasts a good amount of time,
Big Michael slip
you
in.
could get the shot.
I'd give
You could get the call up to the big leagues, the biggest of leagues.
I'd love that out on the balcony, fucking pedo,
Pope Mike?
pedo, like everyone chanting pedo. Like imagine that, like a fucking a pope that's calling out to pedo, like chanting pedo. Like it'd be so fun. I think that'd get a lot of people back involved.
Listen,
They'd be like, he's owning it.
It is a hot button
He's owning
issue for the Pope to be like, I'm not going to do any of that pedo stuff. But you could go even more hard line. You go, you're gonna drain the swamp.
Oh, 100%, lad. I'd have beheadings. I'd have like pedo beheadings, and then like there'd be like bowling tournaments with the heads of the severed heads of pedos.
Rowans.
Yeah, fucking Rowans on MDMA, severed heads of like, former priest pedos.
Is that fluff or
What?
snot on your chin of your beard? It's fluff. It's fluff.
Is
It's
it fluff?
I was just making sure it
Thank
wasn't.
God. If it was snot, I would have had to kill myself. Another snot incident in one episode. You can't do double snot in an episode. There's just no fucking way. And continue to live. I would have been straight out that far window. A bungeeless jump to my death.
What did you say recently? I really liked. You said straight to the rope and stool shop.
Oh, do you know what? And that was what that was a direct theft from Norm MacDonald.
Love it.
So his whole thing is just like, about that time you'd have to go to you have to head to the old rickety stool store.
Yeah.
It's famously right beside the rope store. Anyway, Advoice special.
Advice. A bit of advice. So, context for people who are new to the podcast.
That's
Thank
right.
you for joining. Do fuck off.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Losers.
Old friends are the only friends we want. Drake had a
Exactly.
song about that once. He's like, old friends are the only friends. He's this stupid.
Old friends, young romantic partners. That's what he's all about.
He likes his friends to be in their early to mid 90s and his romantic partners to be just fresh out of the hospital. Just straight out of the maternity ward. Because he is a pedo. If I was Pope, I would have Drake strung up. I'm so sorry
Now
if some
you've
of that
thrown
spilled.
coffee all over there.
But you know what? Most
And
of it,
here's some things I'd like to address. I didn't make that mug. It wasn't set on a table. It was in your hand.
hey,
And you've still spilt it. Can we agree that disproves the theory that it was my fault you spilled Coke Zero last week?
I take full responsibility for this incident. I have been the main victim of my own violence.
And who
There-
takes responsibility for the last one? The IRA?
The last one, I think there'll be a lot of people in my corner on the last one. You overfilled the cup. There was a lot of fault on your side.
Of course there's going to be a lot of people listening to this
Yeah.
who agree with you.
Of course, yeah.
We have a very stupid audience.
Well, baby, fucking bring him in. I love him. But I'll tell you what happened there. I love a stupid herd that I can then be a part of, and we can just be one big stupid consciousness and just do all sorts of dumb shit together. What happened is that snot that was in my nose at the start was a heavy
Was
snot.
keeping your brain in.
It was kind of anchoring my head a little bit. It was keeping me balanced, and now I'm fucking all over the shop. Honestly, I'm like a balloon in the wind in my head. I have no balance. I shouldn't have got rid of that snot. You made me get rid of it, and that was not kind.
Nasty.
Yeah,
Very nasty.
that's right.
Very, very nasty.
So, the advice, give the context.
I'll give the context for the advice. So, for people that are new, God, ages ago now, maybe a year ago now, a young man called Sam sent us a video message and a voice note on Instagram. It was long. It was maybe all in 15 minutes of voice notes and video messages.
He indulged himself, Sam.
And he was basically saying that Mike's pathetic little kind of girl.
He called me you pathetic little pussy, little moaning bitch.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
You worthless little fanian.
And generally just told us to buck up. And it was one of the nastiest video calls until the very end of the video call where he just went, just a bit of advice.
Just a bit of advice. Just a little bit of advice.
And we've really latched on to the juxtaposition of insane advice being provided.
Yes.
With a very kind of colloquial, casual Australian. Just a bit of advice.
You sheepy fucking.
It's often the whole thing. You could say whatever you want to me and go, just a bit of advice.
You sheepy little cunt. You deserve the devil to shit in your mouth, and you deserve Viking to shove a sword up your anus because you guys aren't worth shit, and I hope your mothers were burnt alive and raped before it. Just a bit of advice. Just the worst things you could possibly say, Bubba. Just a bit of advice.
Terrible.
What we've done is we've used this little episode with Salacious Sam, and we've decided to use it to our own ends, which is we get advice and
give advice. We've made it a segment, and we've made it a special. So we're doing a full episode, all full of advice, and also that brief bit where we said some stuff before this right now.
You said, what did you say TEFL stands for?
Teaching English is a fat loser. That's what I said. I said nothing else. I said nothing else. It'll be bleeped. It'll be bleeped in the final edit, and I stand by. I bleeped fat.
I will fight tooth and nail for that to be kept in.
We
the app.
bleeped lots of things.
It was so funny though.
We bleeped lots of things.
We do bleep lots of things. I say, but I think that one, I think people will appreciate.
I'm applying for SNL UK very soon. I would like not to have a slur so recently on the podcast.
No, it wouldn't be in your benefit to keep it in, but I just think for me and for the fans, you should be like Christ, sacrifice yourself at the cross.
For a momentary little, like the most that's getting is.
But I think that is gonna that the podcast is gonna go through the roof when people hear what you said. And it wasn't fat loser. It was another word with F and A, and it was different.
Fab
loser.
Fabulous loser. Teaching English is a fabulous loser.
Let's get some advice up.
Here we go.
Right. Come on, brothers.
Just so you know, if you're like, God, I would love some advice from the boys. I would love to give some advice to the boys.
Yeah.
Michael and Vittorio. But I don't know how to do that because I'm an idiot. Sign up to Patreon, patreon.com/parenting.
Yeah.
For as little as £3 a month. You can also do 5 or 10, but you truly don't get anything extra.
Do 5 or 10. What? Don't say it like that.
You don't.
Lie. Make up like some kind of imagined benefit for 5 or 10. You get an extra mug. Is there mugs?
There's no mugs.
Is there no mugs?
There's no mugs.
There could be a mug if you bothered paying £5. You fucking tight ass bitches. Just a bit of advice. So that was just an example of what Sam would do in a message. Right.
Okay, so here we go. For the first time, we've done at least one advice special before.
Yeah.
And for the normally I organise the advice and try and find out good ones and bad ones and all that shit. These have been organised by our lovely producer, Cumlong.
The nefarious Cumlong.
Chairman Cumlong.
London fuckboy, wrecker of families, destroyer of decency, cummius lungius. Right, let's see what that
He's organised it. So
let's see what that depraved little ape
to the top,
has come up with.
This is anonymous.
Right.
And the title is Feet Pics ? Also, the rules for the advice for future advice senders in. If you're doing a voice note, you have to do it in your best Australian accent.
Yeah.
Here we go. In honour of Sam.
Yes. A
sacrifice. Is there probably a better way to record this audio other than me putting a microphone next to my laptop? Yes.
Yeah. Pay £5 a month and you might get it, you greedy little pigs.
One day I'll buy all the cables we need to make this a good podcast.
What do you need that extra £2 a month for? What? A little fucking cheeseburger at McDonald's? Give us the money. Stop being fucking... shut up,
Stop being
fuck
so
off.
fat and stupid.
Just be voice. Nice. Go for it.
Come on, work, you...
Big Mike, Little Vita.
Don't like that.
I do.
I don't like that.
This guy already nailing
You
it.
can call him Big Mike. You
Already
can't call me
nailing it.
Little Vito.
And he's at in some sort of a public area here, so it's surely drunk. Go on.
Just looking for a bit of advice. So my friend, right, she keeps sending me pictures of her little toes and feet and shit. I'm not sure whether I should be into it. That's pretty much the crutch of it, boys. She's sending me pictures of her feet. I think you guys are kind of kink adjacent. Not 100% sure what I should be feeling right now. Should I be into this? Or should I be telling her to get fucked? Right, boys. Have a good one. Cheers.
Nice.
Very nice.
A respectful man, Big Mike. You know how to get straight to my heart. Flattery will work 10 times out of 10 with me. Just a bit of advice. And Little Vito, I like that. You have become scrawny. You have become small. When I came in earlier and I was standing beside you,
You were in trainers and I was in socks.
No, I know, but I was just physically.
By the way, matching socks. Congrats.
That's unbelievable. I went to River Island and bought socks while I was in Dublin. I went on a spree. Also bought some new underwear, brother. Went to Pennies for the underwear because I went to River Island first. 4 pairs of underwear, 32 quid. I said you can fuck back to your...
Respect yourself.
You can fuck
Respect
back to whatever
yourself.
hole you came out of River Island.
Pennies for pants. That's awful.
I went straight to
That's
Pennies.
awful.
And I got my pair of just
You're a
rough
disgrace.
underwear that scratch and
You're a
cut at my
disgrace.
balls and cock
disgusting.
and make me feel alive.
It's disgusting and you're awful.
Let me just say here.
So his random friend,
Yeah.
this man,
Yeah.
is just sending him pictures of her feet and toes.
Right, okay. So
Just feet would be weird.
Here's what I'm going to say. No toes. Just the shaft of the foot.
Nobody wants him. Is somebody into that? Somebody into
Just
just feet, no toes? Don't show me your toes. That's gross. Feet.
Just give me
Give me your
Just give me the
feet.
meat of the foot.
Give me the hairy bit, please.
The little hairy island. Now, here's what I'm going to say with this whole thing. You, of course, are a kind of a well-known foot whore.
No, I send
sold-
pictures of my feet in socks occasionally to a Ukrainian man who really pesters me on Instagram. It's my support for the war effort.
That's your tip of the cap to Zelensky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you are in the foot business, so to speak.
I have sold, and I haven't done it in a very long time because it made me feel awful.
You have profited from
sending pics of my feet.
From the
Not barefoot. There's only one barefoot picture of me on the internet. When I was in Australia, Alf Lyons posted a picture of my feet
How
barefoot.
does that make you feel?
I messaged her and said, "Can you take that down?" I tried to keep my feet off the internet.
You're being used by this elf.
Are you on WikiFeet?
This elf or this lion woman. No, I'm not on WikiFeet, lad.
Are you sure?
I just... No way. Is there pictures of my feet
It's
up
a different
here?
Mike Rice.
Oh, it's a different Mike Rice.
It's a different
Fuck
Michael Rice.
that.
Who's this fucker?
Lad, I wouldn't mind. People would love my feet. Big size 12 fucking... I have hooves on me. And Jez is like, if you took the sock off now...
No. You're on WikiFeet. 3 stars.
3 stars for my feet. On my big fucking...
Got pictures from
My big
God.
spogs.
They've got pictures from
Oh!
from Big Mike and the Chief.
Now that is
your
a...
former podcast.
To be fair, that's a big dirty foot.
Big dirty foot.
That's like a hobbit
3
foot, isn't it?
stars. Are there any comments?
That's like a Frodo foot.
There's no comments. God, my feet are so much better than your feet.
Lad, I'd take your feet. To be fair, you've got nimble little proddy feet. I've got a big fucking half a horse hoof.
4.48 stars for
That's
Vittorio
sick.
Angelone.
Congrats on that.
Get it on the poster.
That's nice.
Get it on the poster. And it's only one picture.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, someone posted it somewhere recently. The gays have made a whole page of it, Vito.
The
on there.
fabulous losers.
There's been 1,000 wanks fucking sent.
Oh God, yeah, they weren't happy with me for losing my quote-unquote puppy fat.
They
said
were.
he looks worse since getting skinnier, but I'd still love to look up at him while his cock was in my throat. I think that was one of the comments.
They said something like that, or while you sprayed snow all over their face. It was beautiful language for a horrible thing they were saying.
I also had I meant to tell you about this. I had 2 very bizarrely similar messages. So I made focaccia on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was, God, I've never felt more wholesome, more useful. Making bread, a little man making bread.
Connected to your Italian roots.
Yeah.
You felt
There's something very beautiful about
like
it.
you're
Something
back
very
at home, no?
beautiful about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And you posted pictures bragging. It was quite braggadocious.
Well, I said, I'm trying to make focaccia. I'll let you know how it turns out.
And couldn't you do a nice thing and just have it for yourself and not try monetize this experience and just have your bread?
In what way was it monetized? I didn't sell the bread. I just posted it. I was just keeping my adoring fans up to date.
Bread.
I wasn't trying to flog bread.
You were.
It's over there. I give you some for free.
There's nothing this lad
I give
won't.
you some for free.
There's nothing this lad won't try to get a grubby little pound out of, I said.
I give you it for free.
And it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was
It's
really
tasty,
good bread.
tasty garlic focaccia.
But
I posted the success picture of me with a little bit of focaccia in my mouth. Why are you wearing the mic cable?
I've had too many coffees and I'm G'd up and I want to hang myself with the mic cord. Sorry, go on.
So
you put the pictures of the bread up.
Yeah. I was me with it, like a bit of it in my mouth, and then just holding the chopstick so you could see the airiness and the success of the focaccia, and it looked like a real focaccia that you would get in the shop, and I was really pleased with myself. I posted it, and then 2 different women did very strangely similar Instagram messages about it.
Show me your feet, you hairy little hobbit.
No, so there's the picture of me.
Yeah.
Hope you're all having a nice day, like I do on Instagram. Bit of focaccia in my mouth, the whole thing, success. First message, with the utmost respect, I would take a bite of that focaccia directly out of your mouth.
Right. Yeah.
Next message, respectfully, please spit that bread into my mouth.
Fuck me.
2 different women, so much respect. I would say they're announcing their respect without really being respectful. All due respect, I'd love to put you in a bin. That's not,
That's
with
right.
the utmost respect, you're a worm. Like, you can't just say respect.
No.
You have to mean it.
You have to mean it.
You can't be talking about me feeding you like a baby bird
That's right.
and act like you're respecting me.
No.
That's not respectful.
No, you're treating him as a little...
I'm not a piece of meat. I'm a professional baker.
He's a bloody baker. He was engaging in his Italian heritage and his creativity in an activity that feeds people, family, child, community, and all you could think of, horny Jezebels, was getting him to spit the food into your mouth like some sort of a deranged crow. You dirty wench. This is it. No more Jezebels allowed to listen or watch this podcast and lust over my to be honest, virginal friend, an innocent boy who does not have a corrupted mind like myself and others who've been, infected by modern culture and the over-sexualization of things. He's innocent. Let him bake. Let him work on timetables and schedules in peace. Now, bitches.
What's he like? So I don't really understand what this fella, and I'd love a little bit of follow-up if he is listening. Is he just receiving unsolicited feet pics from a lady in his life who isn't his paramour? So
here's what I'm going to say. There's a few things I have to imply here, and I'm going to let you come in here as a former footwear yourself. So you've been in the business and you understand it.
It is real work.
If she is your friend and you don't want to put your penis inside of her
foot,
inside her foot, like stigmata,
like
a nail in the hand of Christ. You don't want to stick your cock in her foot and nail her to the wall with your cock. If that's not something you want to do, and it's not something she wants to do, it's odd that she's sending you pictures of her feet.
Now, here's an alternative, potentially slightly alternative view.
Yes.
If she is a lady that you find floats your cock,
yeah. If her image causes your cock to levitate and detach from your body,
then I would say that there probably on some level is but you're not into feet. That's what I was trying to get to. If you're attracted to her, but you're not into feet, and her aim with these pictures is to entice you and float your cock,
get you horned up.
Just be like, hey, thanks for the feet. Can you send pictures of your tits instead?
That's I think that's absolutely fair. The tits of the chest, or not the tits, the feet of the chest. Because if she's a kind of person that really responds, if you think, or she translates or communicates in the idea of foot, be like, how about, can I see your chest feet? Do you think that would be a better way to communicate to her? That would get through to her better.
She's feet obsessed?
Yes.
So she only thinks of body parts as feet?
Yes, and be like, don't you have two juicy chest feet? How about I see those? And maybe this will be the kind of language that will kind of get through to her. So say that if you have brain damage. But if you've got severe brain damage, maybe say that to her.
But then maybe she, like, is it that you really don't like feet?
Yeah.
But you haven't, at no point has he said he really doesn't like feet.
And here's what I would say. I'm not like foot obsessed. I'm not Quentin Tarantino over here. I'm not making movies and, writing long, salacious paragraphs. Second time to use the word salacious today. I'm not writing these, long, flowery, decorative paragraphs about my love and lust, the lust that is inspired in me by feet. But I wouldn't mind sticking a pretty little foot in my mouth. And I think...
I would mind that.
Of course you'd mind it, you fucking...
I'm a prude, I don't accept that.
What's your man's name in The Wizard of Oz?
Tintin.
The Tin Man. What's he looking for?
Not Tintin, Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
What's he looking for?
Is he after a heart?
Yeah.
No, you do have a heart. God love you. But...
no, that's brain. What's the Tin Man lyrics? If I only had a brain... No,
that's a Scarecrow.
Scarecrow's if I only had a brain. Tin Man's if I only had a heart.
And the Lion is after courage, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a cowardly
I can remember
lion.
the Scarecrow because I always wanted to play the Scarecrow.
You did?
That was a real dream. I think I would like to do that still.
And is that because you had such a big head and such a big brain, you thought to play the Scarecrow, that would be like a real test of your acting? To play a brainless kind of a lout that the Scarecrow was. He wouldn't work to warm himself, that Scarecrow. One of the more useless characters in cinema history, I'd say.
The Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Well, he was pretty good, no?
No, he was louting around there. If there was work in the bed, he'd sleep on the floor. Now, here's what I want to say to our...
It's when a man's an empty kettle.
And
should be on his metal. And yet I'm torn apart. Just because I'm presuming that I could be kind of human if I only had a heart. I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, I'd be awful sentimental regarding love and art. I'd be friends with the sparrows and the boys who shoot the arrows if I only had a heart. We'll stop there, I think.
Stick her feet in your mouth till you come and stop being a fucking coward. Next.
Let me just double check. I
think a woman's a lovely dainty little foot. Like, does she have the nails painted? That's nice.
Like in The Big Lebowski?
Yes, exactly like in The Big Lebowski. Bonnie. Maybe get her to cut off one of her toes and send it to you and say, show me how much you really want to get this kyock, and spell kyock C-Y-O-C-K in the message, and she'll know you mean business, brother.
Picture me a balcony above, a voice sings low.
Are you singing another song now?
Dorothy, wherefore art the Romeo?
No, we're back.
I hear a beat.
No,
sweet.
I have to put shackles on you, or you're just going to do the whole of the Wizard of Oz. Back to Advoice.
One more verse.
Come on, brother.
Maybe. We need to do a little ad read.
Now?
For the beautiful and handsome and motivational Zach Southall. Oh! Zach Southall Fitness has helped me lose so much weight that everyone's concerned about my health. Wouldn't you like a similar thing for you and your friends?
He's
to
genuinely,
be worried about you?
I've never seen him in worse form. Earlier on today, I literally said to you the first hour I was here, I was like, you haven't smiled. He's lost nutrients. There's a spark, a will to live. You used to have such a joy de vivre. You were such, there was an energy that would come. You'd be glowing. And now you're kind of this shadowy, grey, miserable, mustached kind of a mutant. I didn't want to say mutant, but that's what I felt.
We'll bleep it.
And Southall is this kind of weird trait, like Sauron.
A very
He's like
helpful
Sauron.
a very helpful personal trainer.
What's that guy?
There's a lot of free tips that you can access via his link tree on his Instagram.
that
So you
guy
can just
in-
get that. Like if you're just looking for a little bit of advice, if you're looking for a little bit of advice on how to lose weight and get in shape and be really strong like me, then maybe get on the internet and go to Zach Southall Fitness. There's a link below, and if you tell him that we sent you, then crucially we get money.
I get nothing. I've gotten nothing from him ever.
He tried.
Except
He tried.
no, he didn't try. I had some really bad personal experiences with him. He was quite rude to me, this guy. What he's done to Vittorio, you can all see. Vittorio's finding it hard to see. He's like in a relationship where he's getting hit. He's like Tina Turner. Southall is Ike Turner. He's beating the living snot out of him and still has him fucking peddling his shit.
I think you're confusing
What?
as mine and Zach Southall's relationship with mine and your relationship.
No way! I'm not Ike Turner. No way. If anything, I'm the one being abused. And I can't, for legal reasons, even say what he's doing to me, but it's quite nasty. Now,
just to register emotion, jealousy, devotion, and really feel the part. I could stay young and chipper, and I'd lock it with a zipper if I only had a heart.
That is nice. I did like that at the end. But I will say, lad, Southall, he's like, if you remember in Lord of the Rings, that guy...
Gandalf, the really helpful wizard.
No, it's not Gandalf, it's the other guy.
The really helpful wizard who helps all the small people.
It's the other cunt.
Get their steps in.
No,
those hobbits did so many steps.
No, the other evil...
was at least 10,000
The evil
a day.
shitty wizard that controls orcs with his mind, and Southall has made you nothing less than an orc. Yes, that's right. That's right. And you're a little
Don't
bedraggled...
swear during the ad read, please.
You're a little bedraggled orc. You're a wasting one. You've become... He's made an orc of you. And that's not my words. I've been receiving messages.
Somehow you've got another bit of fluff in your beard.
Another bit of fluff?
Yeah.
Do you think my beard has become some sort of a fluff generating
Do you shampoo
business?
your beard?
No, lad, I don't, but maybe I should. I've gotten this new shampoo.
You haven't got the fluff out of your beard.
And why would I get the
Can I get it out?
Why are we what's the problem with
Because
fluff?
we're on the television right now.
Huh?
We're on the television right now.
Yeah, but what we're producing in a way is nothing but fluff. You know what I mean? This is mind
a
fluff.
metaphor.
Yes.
Your beard is
As I am
a
producing
metaphor for the culture war.
fluff of the mind, my beard is producing fluff of the
Come.
of the exactly. Right, next bit of advice.
No, okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. The title of this one, as titled by Come Long, is Sad Girl Life Advice.
Right.
Here we go.
I'm
Here we
gonna
go.
connect with you here. I'm one of the saddest little girls
That's ever lived.
that has ever lived, brother.
G'day, you cunts. How you doing? Hi, it's me, the Pringle bitch. I was wondering if I could get a little bit of advice. I apologise.
It's me, the Pringle bitch.
Yeah.
That's Taylor's version.
That's-
It's me. Hi. I'm the Pringle bitch.
I was wondering if I could get a little bit of advice. I apologise for my awful Australian accent.
It's not bad. It's not bad, Pringle bitch.
Basically, I'm 27 and I'm very lost with life.
Right.
I've been unemployed for like 6 months because
Pringle
my
bitch.
brain is fucked and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do for work. I am very lost, and I know it's a difficult question to answer, but more of a specific question. What did you do to meet people when you were struggling? Or when you felt a bit lost, what would be your guidance? If you have any ideas, cheers for the podcast. Goodbye. Sorry for the Pringle.
It's at some point it becomes so funny that they're sticking with the Australian accent.
Yes,
to me.
throughout the pain
Yeah, throughout the pain.
of like, I'm completely lost and I have no idea what to do with my life.
Here's what I'm going to say right off the bat. You're 27 years of age. You've already, got
You're
as far.
ahead of the curve.
You're ahead of the curve.
You're ahead of it.
Right.
Like, this is a very Gary Vee thing to say, but like, God, like every single mistake you've made, like the whole way through your 20s, you should be making mistakes. You should be fucking things up. And it's much better to be like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And at least, like, God, the unemployment element of it is almost a blessing.
That's right.
Of like, you're not chained to anything. It doesn't sound like you have any dependence.
No.
You're not trapped in a life that you have no passion for.
You've got a great taste in podcasts. You've got
great jumping off point.
You've got, which is a brilliant, because it shows you've got a good kind of view of what's good, what's bad. You're a taste maker. You've got a decent Aussie accent in your back pocket. I'll say that right now.
Back yourself with that.
That's right.
Get that on your fucking LinkedIn profile ASAP.
You could do maybe some kind of like Alf Stewart impressions. Maybe do some get involved in some kind of Alf Stewart porn or some home and away type trivia night that you could run.
Have you considered selling pictures of your feet?
We've got this guy who has not been clear whether he likes them or not, but we could put you. We have both your email addresses,
and you're both Australian,
and you're both deeply Australian.
You're both clearly Australian.
Yeah, individuals. So you can talk about dingoes and whatnot.
The final form of this podcast is two listeners getting together and both pretending to be Australian for the rest of their lives.
That would be unbelievable.
Just to keep up the bit.
It would be such a lovely tip of the cap to us.
That would be so
as
good.
A podcast.
That would be so good.
If some of you just came out as Australian and just like to your parents, to everyone, like your whole, like, and dead seriously, like you sit your parents down and be like, this is not ideal. Obviously, this is not how you raised me. But I'm going to tell you something.
G'day. Straight off the bat, g'day.
G'day. Start with that.
I'm coming out as g'day.
Yeah. I've got quite a lot of things to say, but I'm not going to spend any time on it.
Yeah. And the dad would say, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom.
Let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom.
As far as I'm concerned.
And I'm Australian. I know you've raised me.
We've said before, we've had people ask before on the podcast, on the advice specials, about how to meet people. And we've often said sport. Yeah. If you're into any team sport, I find really that's an excellent place.
Yes.
Find like a welcoming, like nice low level version of that sport. And just get along. You know, lots of cunts are playing padel at the minute. Have you played padel?
I've not played it. I
know a lot of comedians are playing padel.
I have
and pickleball and these things.
So I play tennis, the full court, and I don't need the little fucking stabilizers on to play paddle like a little bitch, to be honest.
I give it 2 months until we're playing paddle together.
I think if you wanted to play paddle, I would, because any arena in which I can defeat you tangibly, I will get involved. If you added up both our bowling scores, I did beat you there. And
why would you do that, though? And
I feel like there's many more victories on the horizon for me. I would like us to start a football game as well.
I beat you on WikiFeet. We've been talking about this forever.
And I think after this episode, we'll just sit down and see.
Can I send the message right now into the group?
Send a message right now.
Current football match and just be like, would anyone fancy joining a midweek game?
And let me be the Pringle bitch whisperer, because she's calling herself the Pringle bitch because I believe she has won. And I hate to say this because I don't want you to feel like I'm making you feel any less special, but I've been brought Pringles by many kind people, by many altruistic souls, people with decency, kindness, a spirit of giving will bring me Pringles in my time of need at gigs. I couldn't love it anymore. Thank you very much. Those Pringles have been eaten, and I've shoved the box up my asshole as I've been masturbating that night. Everything's been used. I've left nothing unused. I would use the dust. I'd use the dust to sprinkle as an odd, unuseful lube on my flute. What's that thing in the film Hook where, is it like Tinkerbell's? Is it fairy dust? You sprinkle on someone and then they can fly, but then Pringle dust and they can...
Wank?
Wank, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But what I would say on a serious note to my beloved, if I may say, my beloved Pringle bitch, you're 27, you're already done well not to die and being like the Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison, 27 Club. I had done nothing by the age of 27. I've still done nothing.
I've done so much.
Vittorio is not someone that you'd want to talk to about this because he unfortunately has been quite precocious and productive as a young man in his 20s. I myself,
I think my 30s I'm going to be really down in the dumps.
it'd be a real lift for a lot of people. If that were to happen, I think that would give a lot of people
completely off the rails.
That would put the wind in a lot of people's sails. Oh my God, that'd be a coin in my
downfall
jukebox.
of my relationship.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to see that. No, I would want to see. I want to see her suffer with you, like both of you are in the shit. That'd be nice.
What?
I'm joking. Jamali is an angel who I only want to see prosper. But on a serious note, I think because you're always the oldest age you've ever been. It's obviously a very obvious statement there, but you always feel old. No matter what age, because you're always the oldest you've ever been. So you're like, I'm fucking 27. What? But you're like unbelievably, cosmically young. If you haven't even been to school yet, if you couldn't even read or write, you'll fucking do it. You'll make it happen. Things will work out. 6 months unemployed, fucking nice. Don't be working for the man. Don't work a stupid job. Leech off the system. Milk.
Get some sport on the go.
Yes.
Maybe, and this is crazy to be like, spend money on us, but like genuinely in like the Patreon chat, people come to either one of our live shows or our joint live shows and like meet up. Like people are going by themselves and be like, I want to come along to this as well and go to a comedy gig. I mean, you can go to
come dressed as Ian Paisley. That will make you friends.
There's an app/website called Meetup, and I know like that they're kind of like sometimes maligned and made fun of by comedians. You know this Meetup app?
Yeah.
Where you basically like type in the interest, whether it's going to stand-up comedy gigs if you're a fan of this podcast.
Yes.
Get on there and be like, there's always groups going to Angel Comedy Club. I don't know where the fuck you are in Australia, but
yes.
Like, you
sounded
know,
like Queensland accent to me.
So
there's probably a lot of people who are like, you could get involved with, who are like anti-croc people. So you could like go in and get in an anti-croc group. People who are like,
maybe with Bob Catter. Go to a Bob Catter rally.
Go to a Bob Catter rally. That's got to be fucking fun.
That's all about.
Or like find a group of people, other people who ask podcasters for advice. There's like there's groups for everything. I would also say that if you're just in general, if your head is in the bin, you're kind of saying your brain is a little bit fucked. Hey, sister, listen, you're preaching to the choir here. My head is scrambled eggs. Do whatever you need to do to help yourself. Whether, I don't know what kind of habits you're in with, eating full cheesecakes or, drinking a small baby's worth of whiskey or whatever you're doing at the minute. Take care of yourself.
Do you want to know my stupidest, and it like sounds like the stupidest thing, but it really makes a difference for me if I'm down in the dumps and I want to get myself back on like looking after myself and doing all. I was talking to Jamali about this recently of like, it's weird that like when you're succeeding at things, I find it much easier to like have good self-care practices. And it's almost, I think, because we attach our self-worth to our like career success and like those types of things.
Right.
That's the time when we need the least self-care. You know what I mean? When it comes most readily to us. And it's just that thing of like, you're still fucking worthy of looking after yourself, even if you don't have a job, even if you don't have any of these other things going on. It's like, you're still worth fucking looking after.
If you don't have big chest feet.
And the tiniest way I do that is every time before I take off my trainers, I untie the shoelaces. Because it's like, I'm looking after myself for when I put these back on.
Future VO.
And that's just like, it's the tiniest little thing. It takes 2 seconds, but it sort of just like unlocks a thing in my brain of like, future Vittorio was worth looking after.
Intentionality, care, detail. I never do that, what he just said he does. And look at the difference between us in temperament, success, financial, health, in every way. He's so untie your shoes. That's absolutely right what you're saying. Think about it. Right, you're going through a tough time right now. You've been unemployed for 7 months. You're 27. The day that Winehouse, or the age that Winehouse famously kicked the bucket. And if you had a friend that was you, who hadn't been in work, who was feeling lost and didn't know how to do whatever, think about how kind you would be to that friend. Exactly. What you would do for that friend, what you would give that friend. Little titty massage or whatever you want. Light some candles, the bath, box of Pringles.
I tell you what's
vibrator.
Crazy is this is actually one of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life.
What?
That being a book that like I have read, and it's before he went completely off the fucking rails. Big JBP.
Yeah.
He, in the 12 Rules for Life, it's like treat yourself as if you're someone you're supposed to look after. like
Yes.
as if you're a pet of yourself or like a child of yourself. Do you know people are more likely to miss taking their own medication than they are to miss giving it to their pet?
Wow.
Because they're separate from it and they inherently value the pet more than they value themselves easily.
That's mad, yeah.
And it's a big thing. And it's like, this is mad, crazy, uber risky podcast advice to give to someone. But if you are having a hard time, when I was having a hard time and really like directionless and all that shit, it is fairly basic self-help. You don't have to read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I'm not going to tell you to give that madman any money. But there are plenty of similar self-help books that are more geared towards women, particularly, or more geared towards your type of thing.
She
Pop
comes
psychology,
first.
we make fun of it so much, but like,
She Comes First.
yeah,
That's a book. That is a genuine book that you could read about women coming, and then you could come too, perhaps. It's not going to make things worse, her coming. Why are you looking at me like that? It's actually scientifically proven to improve your overall happiness, contentment, is to orgasm regularly. I'm sorry. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry that someone has to give adult advice in this between us. All right? Now, I will also say, on what that's a great point about the person you're looking after. Last night, for example, I was in Dublin. I went to the gay Spar on George's Street.
which
And
is so cool.
It's so cool.
For people that haven't been to Dublin, there's a Spar, which is like a corner shop.
Right.
And it's just a gay one.
Yeah.
It's like there's corner shops and like petrol stations all around the country that are Spars. This one is gay.
Everything's gay in there. Everything's
And
gay.
it's just because it's across the road from like the biggest gay bar in Dublin.
It's right beside the George in Dublin, which is the gay capital of Dublin. You go into the gay Spar and every food item in there is flaming. And it's amazing. And so I went in there at 8
What
o'clock.
are the gayest food items? Flaming hot Pringles.
That's right.
Flaming hot Doritos.
Bananas.
Bananas, very gay. A lot of sausages.
Right.
A lot of sausages. Peaches.
Peaches.
Aubergines.
Aubergines. The arseholes of men.
You can buy them.
You can get them in there. It's a lovely gay treat. I went in there, got a chicken fillet roll at 8 p.m. Now, if I had a child that I was looking after, would I give them a chicken fillet roll at 8 p.m.? Of course not, because I
Yeah,
love
it's
the
the better-
child.
yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I'd want my child to feel good, and that's a bad habit. Why do I do that to myself? Ask yourself that, Pringle bitch. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Why?
Why would I not have given myself what would be healthy to eat at 8 p.m.?
Healthy to eat at 8
Yeah.
p.m. Maybe like chicken and vegetables.
Chicken and
It's
veg.
the bread and the kind of sauce that's your real problem.
taco
there, and
sauce, the
and
cheese.
and the breadedness of the chicken. But like,
Right.
chicken, maybe like fish, coconut rice, and asparagus.
See?
That's a very nice dinner.
That's what you'd feed your child,
It's a very
right?
nice dinner.
So think this, change the thinking, Pringle bitch, and you'll find your life will change. Next bit of advice.
Marginal gains. Lovely.
Come
I
on.
think we do one where we have to read it out, and then we'll save some more voice note ones for the Patreon, because the advice will continue
Right.
on the
The
Patreon.
Patreon.
So we have a sex one, we have an America one, and we have a relationship one.
What do you think I want? What do you think I need? What do you think I need in my arsehole right now?
Are you going to make me read the sex one?
Yeah, come on, brother. Read the gospel.
God, all of these have been
The gospel
anonymous.
according to Kyok.
All of these have been anonymous.
Nice.
Okay, don't read it over my shoulder. You know I hate it when you do that.
Okay.
Here we go. That's my new SD card holder.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right,
It
okay.
sheaths all my SD cards.
Okay.
I'm going to organize them.
Can I use
can't
it as
wait.
my fluff brush?
Nope.
No.
That's not what it's for.
Right, come on, read.
Anonymous. Hello, fellas. I've recently encountered a performance anxiety issue and feel like you two are the best people to seek advice from, as I've heard you talk about stuff like this in the past. Normally, I wouldn't suffer from this sort of thing, but a few months ago, I was invited around for a hookup by a woman that was incredibly boring and mean-spirited, but also incredibly attractive. The problem was that when
Adds
we...
up. Checks out, brother.
No. The problem was that when we got to bed to do the deed, she had worn me down mentally so much that I could not get it up to perform, and it really shattered my confidence. Fast forward to a few weeks ago where I'm heading to bed with an absolutely lovely, beautiful, kind woman. As we are heading to bed, my mind went, wouldn't it be awful if the thing that happened last time happens now? And just like that, like some self-fulfilling prophecy, I start panicking, and surely enough, I psyched myself out of it and had the same problem as last time. It took about 40 minutes for me to calm down, enough to get going. She was lovely and patient about it, but it's fairly humiliating. I'm wondering if you guys have any advice for next time I'm in that situation. Do I try and get over this mental block and lack of confidence and risk further embarrassment, or do I bring a pill with me so that I know even if the problem arises again, I have a safety net? The thing that's making me not want to do that is that I want to depend on the pill every time, but I also don't fancy going through all that embarrassment every time an opportunity arises. Love the podcast and both of your comedy so much. Cheers, lads.
Brother, you've come to the right place. Two of the biggest soft cocks on the internet. Two of the biggest fannies on the British Isles will deeply relate to your sexual failures. Okay, so here's what I say. I'll be honest with you. I'm a man who'll have...
The first mistake was bedding an evil lady.
Well, so here's the thing that I think sometimes we forget is, listen, we're fragile, sensitive, lovely little boys, you know, and if you encounter someone who you feel is being like mean or like somehow, I don't know, dismissive of you or is not making you feel, you know, dare I say, safe or like, you know, that you,
or like,
that you can trust them or that they like you or that
safe.
Right.
Yeah, safe's a good word for it, yeah.
It's hard to fucking, you know, send all the blood in your body down to your kyock, like, you know, like an army to lift up the flag that is your kyock, your limp kyock. It's tough.
Yeah.
You need to feel fucking comfortable.
We're also like, we are cave people. We're the descendants of cave people. And you couldn't be making babies when there's a saber-toothed tiger at the door. So you do have to feel safe.
That's right.
You have to feel like everything's taken care of, everything's looked after. And it's like, cool. The hatches are battened down. There's nothing threatening me.
Yes.
Or my nice lady friend.
Barry White on. Turn on Barry
in
White.
In the cave, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, big time. And
Alexa, yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously that's your first mistake.
Play Nelly Hutton here.
I think he's aware that was his first mistake. So I don't want to dwell.
That's right.
On the fuck up. Where do we go from here? He had this lovely lady who was very patient.
I would like to say though, I don't think it wasn't a fuck up. He's not necessarily to know. I think it transpired that she was a cruel lady when he came in and she was reading Mein Kampf and, you know what I mean, throwing live puppies out the window
correct
or whatever.
Me if I'm wrong. Either version could be right. I feel like he was like chatting to her, whatever. I guess it was a hookup, but like
he was aware she was a woman sans kindness.
Yeah, before they were doing the bonking,
right?
And I think you just have to like don't have such like a famine mindset. On
tenderness was a stranger to this woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knew that. You're saying,
and he needs to not have like a famine mentality of like, again, it's a self-worth thing of like, you can get a nice lady, you deserve a nice lady, and it's not. You don't have to capitalize every time there is sex available.
That's a tough one to do, bro. Believe me.
That's tricky.
Sometimes you get given the green light. You say, baby, it's Fast and the Furious. I got a race. But sometimes it's like, hey, I don't want to race right now. I don't feel like racing. Just because there's a green light doesn't mean I have to go. Okay?
I've got a flat tire, baby.
I can sit in my car. I can sprinkle Pringle dust on my cock and I can have my own fun. Right? I can think of chest feet from a woman I like and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and believe in yourself enough to wank yourself off.
That's right. Yes. So this is a great point. You're good today. You're saying good things about the self-worth. You don't have to do it all the time if it's just because someone says yes. Now, let's get to the problem of it's in your head now.
Yes, right? And you've got this lovely lady, which is great that you have managed to bounce back. I mean, I would count that as a big W, yes. That you bounced back with such a nice lady that she waited for you to like calm down, settle down. I don't know if you spoke about what happened or anything like that.
Or she gave him like...
And I think most women, if you were up front and be like, look, I was with this lady last time. She was quite mean and like I really wasn't vibing with her, but I sort of ended up doing it and it went wrong. So I'm a little bit stressed. I think most women I know would be like, that's really cool that you've been upfront about that.
Yes. Now, most women he knows are members of orchestras. these are,
some of the toughest women.
Some of the toughest women who know
It's a
how
very
to
male-dominated industry.
know how to handle, a wild cello. But so what I would say is, you're absolutely right. Most women, and it will get it off you, because in your head, when you're battling something just by yourself, and you're just like, fuck, this will happen, this will happen. If you can just say to the lady, listen, I had a little bit of a situation with a wild vixen who was not of good moral standing, and she hath infected my brain and my cock. And I would just like you to have some patience with me, because it's become a little bit of a thing. So just so you know, I think your chest feet are juicy and huge. I think you're a kind milk maiden of value and virtue. And I would love nothing more than to enter you for now and forever.
Bit of time.
Yes.
And that's something I've encountered, like me and Jamal, about my kind of low sex drive thing. Because did I tell you I went to a sex therapist?
You did not. How did this not come up? You little bollocks.
Think it was just before I went to Australia, maybe, and then it just got lost in the sauce. Yeah, I went to a sex therapist for like an initial consultation.
Right.
Turns out I'm great and don't need any more sex therapy.
Really?
She was very cool about it. It was I didn't know what I was expecting.
Sex therapist is different than like a Thai massage parlor.
Very different, I would imagine.
Right.
This lady was Caucasian.
Oh.
I went to, it was just at her house, which was a bit like,
oh, nice.
This is kind of mad. And you kind of like,
did you have to show her your flute, or is that part of it?
That's not part of it.
Right, okay.
It's more of a talking thing.
Okay.
So I show up and I don't know what I'm expecting this house to look like. And like in the email, it's like, don't show up more than 10 minutes early for your appointment, because there might be somebody else in before you, and like none of you can fucking see each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't want, if you're a sex therapist working out of the back room of your house, you don't want your house looking like fucking Bonnie Blue's hotel room with just a fucking queue of losers. Like, just a queue of just sad.
Everyone with little fucking, bandages on their kiosk. They're cock in a sling. Just.
I'd rather be in the sex therapist queue than the fucking Bonnie Blue queue, I tell you with that one.
That's a fact.
One of the most pathetic groups of men.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go in, tell her all the crack with what's happening, and she's very cool about it. Very like, somebody who like, it's like the way a doctor talks about like balls and like assholes and stuff. They're just like, come on. They're over it. They're over any of the weirdness around it. They're just like, yeah, well, and then why that? What about that? And you're just like, I've never had a conversation about sex where one of us isn't weird about it.
Yeah.
This is strange. And she recommended a book, which I don't know if is the same book that you were talking about.
She Comes First.
It's called Come As You Are. It's the book that she recommended for me.
CUM.
And I think it might be COME on the books to see whatever.
She's cool. This sex therapist is cool.
She's very cool, but she said that I might be a responsive, I might have a responsive like libido type, which is basically that I'm not...
You have to frighten you.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Just more of
Come from behind.
I'm not the... it's not natural for me to be the instigator. It's not something that's on my mind all the time.
So get Jamali to kind of chase you around.
Yeah, exactly. And often in relationships, it's the lady that is the more responsive one than the instigator type thing. And it's a very common thing, which is sort of why this book exists, of like women going like, when I have sex, I really enjoy having sex. But it's weird that like the whole day I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like after you have sex, you're like, that was great. Why am I not like actively wanting to do that all the time? And I was saying this to her as if like I was like fucked up, and then she was like, no, that's just like half of people.
Right.
Half of people are like that. And she was like, yeah, it's normally women that are like that. But like, that's fine and normal to be like that.
But you are possibly, you don't have to go the full way with it, but you're a little trans.
I think we're all a little trans.
I'm definitely. I'm probably 67% woman, if I had to guess. Percentage-wise, what's inside me, I'm a bit of that. So you have to kind of do like kind of hide and go seek
it was
things.
This patience thing that your man was talking about, and like Jamali's very, very cool about all that, and we just have to do this very slow build up of like, I can't feel like any steps have been skipped. You know what I mean? I can't be like...
You have to be wooed.
It just has to be a very gradual and like kissing with no obligation that it's going to turn into snogging. Snogging with no obligation that's going to turn into touching.
Right.
Touching with no obligation. It's just like we're doing the steps together, and actually Love on the Spectrum, Connor Tomlinson. Shout out to Connor from Love on the Spectrum.
CT.
Absolute legend.
CT in the
Talking
house.
about the levels from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Tier 15.
Right.
Oh, that's it. I think I'm a guy that has to work through the tiers gradually.
Like literally the tears.
No.
Also, but it works on 2 levels, like a Jay-Z
I don't
rap.
cry.
Like double entendre.
Yeah.
The tears and the tears, brother. The tears of your cock, which is also, some people would maybe call cum, the tears of your cock. And that's what we're trying to get to and trying to produce. So that's...
but it's just about patience and like cool. And if the woman isn't cool to be like patient or understanding about like stuff like that,
she ain't for you, bro.
she ain't for anybody, you know.
You don't have to leave, but you can't stay here. That's
She's
what
for
you
the
tell
streets.
her. She's for the streets, but she's for the fucking bin, brother. So what I will say about that, as someone who has had issues with psychological impotence, loads for years, I would always have a little Cialis.
So what I was going to say
In the
about
wallet.
that is like I sometimes get like really dry mouth on stage, and it's something I've kind of solved recently. But I would always find that if I had a drink on stage, I would never drink it, but I would
Right.
never get dry mouth.
Yeah.
Whereas if I didn't have a drink on stage, I would get dry mouth. And I think it's almost that thing, like he says, a safety net.
Have it on you. Have the little pill on you. Cialis is good as well, because Viagra, your head will fucking turn into a tomato and fall off. Your face goes so red and you're like, Jesus, mother of fucking God. You'd stick your cock through a wall. You know what I mean? But Cialis, it's a lighter little buzz. It lasts for like 36 hours and it'll just give you a little helping hand. And the thing is, if it's a thing where it's when you're first meeting someone and it's like, all right, I just want a little confidence thing here, blah, 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 till I get comfortable with this person. First couple of times, then after that, you can kind of go off it and your cock will take it from there. It'll take the reins. Maybe, most likely. I understand though, you don't want to get in a stage of dependency
It's like
on
having
it.
a beer before you go on stage. It's like
Right.
you don't want to need it.
Yeah, I need it. I use it all the time. But like, whatever, you know, c'est la vie, I say. But
It's not the Olympics. You're allowed performance-enhancing drugs.
that's right. And also, that's right, you make your cock like Irish swimmer Michelle Smith. Do you remember her? She won 2 gold medals in the 1996 Olympics. She was drugged up to the fucking
The
gills,
most
brother.
famous user of performance-enhancing drugs ever. There wasn't a more accessible reference you could have pulled.
Yeah. That didn't register with you. It's a big deal in Ireland. She would have been kind of Socky, Dustin, and Michelle Smith would have been probably the 3 most famous people in Ireland in the 90s.
Lance Armstrong.
Lancey
You
Joe.
could be Lance Armstrong.
So-
Without the cancerous balls and lungs.
That's right. So this guy. So what I would say is, because this is what you've said is great there. Just it might for a little bit when you meet new people, just take a little bit longer. But just like. So remember also, just say to them, look, hey, I've had this thing where the thing doesn't work. Honestly, I'm at a stage now, if I'm at a place where my dick doesn't work, I'm not even that embarrassed about it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. That's just what's happening today. Sorry.
Just hand them a cassette tape of Eckhart Tolle.
Just give
Be
them
like,
Eckhart Tolle.
accept it. It's all about acceptance.
Also, I'm going to put on my fucking goggles and I'll go down south of the border myself for the best part of a week. Just go. That's another thing. You've got 5 cocks on your hand, 5 little cocks. 5 little hand cocks, right? How about put them to work? How about
Graham
put
Hancock.
them in the game, right? They're little Ole Gunnar Solskjaers, right? 90th minute, we need a goal. 5 little Hancocks.
Who's Graham Hancock?
Stick him in the game. I think he's a guy who is an archaeology fella who believes that the pyramids were made by
Wikipedia says a British
lesbians.
writer who promotes pseudoscientific ideas about ancient civilizations and hypothetical lost lands.
Right, there's a lot of people who think he's a quack and
Has
full
he
of
been
shit.
on Joe Rogan?
Oh, Rogan
Of
loves
course
him.
he's been on Joe
Rogan loves him.
A triple Rogan appearance? Hello.
Brother.
Hello.
But so that's the other thing. Just go down there and you can give her a great time regardless. And by the time you're down there for fucking 30 minutes, hey, guess what? Little fucking Captain Flute down here decides he wants to play. Now you're in. She's ready to go. You've been warming her up for the best part of a decade. You fly in. Whatever. If you don't make a big deal out of it, the worst thing I think for women in those scenarios, I think women can let me know, is if like you're really not working or you're nervous or whatever it is, it's in your head, and then you're kind of fucking hard on yourself or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh fuck, or you're down. Just be like, hey, sorry, this can happen recently. I had a bad experience. Don't worry about it. I fancy you. Let me go snorkeling down there and I'll sort you out, blah. And I'll also maybe suck on your tits. Maybe I'll bite your elbow. We can do lots of fun things. Show me your feet, right? Let me suck on them. Hey, that could be nice too.
There'd be dancing, there'd be twirls. I'd be singing with the girls if I only had a cock.
Nice. If I only had a hard cock. Right.
There we go. That's the end of the public episode of the Advice special.
We've got like 6 more advices
Things to
come.
plug. And don't forget, if you want your advice read out on the podcast or dealt with on the podcast, the best way to do that is to be on the patreon.com/parenting. We're building a great community of some of the stupidest people in the world.
Of like-minded imbeciles like ourselves on the Patreon. Good, solid people. Get on there, £3 a month. We're going to do 5 more advices on there. It's going to be sick. Oh, by the way, here's the thing. Now, this is the truth. I know I've said it a few times. Mike's tour is on sale on our Patreon now. Pre-sales on the Patreon. Tickets for my tour. I'm going all over the UK and Ireland, and tickets are on the Patreon now, and they will be available tomorrow, which is, what day is Friday? What date is Friday? Can you get that real quick for me?
What date is Friday?
Yeah, please.
It's like the 1st of May or some shit.
It's the 2nd of May. I believe it's the 2nd of May on Friday.
Friday's the 2nd of May. Friday's the 2nd of May. So
all my tour dates are going to be available. It's starting in November, going all over the UK. Also, Vicar Street in Dublin is available right fucking now, brothers. This has always been my dream to do Vicar Street. I never thought I'd do it. It's going to be the best fucking show to tour in Dublin. All my UK dates as well. It's a brand new show, nothing that's been on either of the specials. Go to my website, mikericeComedy.com. It'll also be links to my Instagram, all that shit, and it'll be on our Patreon. The tickets for all of them. Go check it out. I'm also doing the fucking Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. It's one of the biggest shows I'm ever doing. I'm fucking buzzing about it. Sick. Get the tickets. I love you, brothers.
We're both at the Edinburgh Fringe as well. If
That's
you want
right.
to come along and see those.
Nice.
7 of my nights at the Edinburgh Fringe are sold out already.
Jeez
so do get involved
Louise.
for the rest of them.
By God.
I would plug that I'm re-recording the special in Glasgow in May, but those sold out. Fucking legends to anybody that bought tickets and all that shit. I'll be doing some little run-throughs of the
How
special.
big is that room?
150.
150. That's sold out quick, brother.
Yeah, 2 shows, 12 hours. Not bad. Good things
brother.
to come for when my tour goes on sale, hopefully. Exciting stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so come along. I'll be doing some like London warm-uppy versions of that. That will probably be at the Glad Comedy Club in Borough. Just little to get the fucking words out of my head and all that shit. Yeah, and I'm very excited about filming it. I'm very excited about doing the new show at the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm getting big ideas. I'm watching a lot of podcasts and videos about people filming their specials and how to make it fucking cool, and working on a new show. And
Sick.
I'm going to be very ambitious with this one, I think. Something a little bit different for the people.
Brother.
Anyway, patreon.com/parenting for another episode of whatever that was.
We love you.
Bye.
See you then. Bye. Nice.